Yeah, so John missed this because he came here later in the evening. But so at day job, we have these animatronic Chucky from Child's Play figures that are to scale of the actual film doll.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, except it's got wheels.
Okay.
And a little stabby knife.
Okay.
As Chucky does.
Yeah.
So customers have figured out, because it's one of those ones that it has a sensor, so if you walk past it, he like rolls towards you and like is stabbing it, saying a Brad Dourif line.
Right.
And people have figured out the doll isn't tethered to its display stand, so they keep picking the Chucky up and putting it in different parts of the store.
Oh no.
And I keep finding it because I hear somebody shriek because they like walk past the aisle or turn into the aisle and there's Chucky.
Nice.
With no warning and harsh like halogen bulb lighting.
Nice.
Imagine being like a 40-something-year-old and you're just trying to get some knickknacks. You're getting your Christmas shopping done early in September.
Yeah, you're
and
getting
you
your
come
tchotchkes.
around and like a small ginger child runs at you a knife and calls you a bitch. That is an experience that's happening in their head for about a good like 5 seconds.
Yeah, because the first time I noticed somebody moved it myself personally, somebody had put it specifically in the kids section.
Nice.
Which is horrifying. So I didn't, when I walked past the aisle with him, I didn't like register it as the Chucky doll.
Yeah.
And he's in that little bright colored outfit, so I didn't really register any of that. All I registered because he was turned just at that perfect 3/4 angle for like a dramatic like Roman gesture pose with his little knife up. So my brain processed for a half second that there was a child with metal scissors.
Because you have access, you have metal scissors.
Yeah,
in the
we
store.
sell metal scissors at the like
Very
like
easily
fabric
get 'em.
shears, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just my first thought was that meme gif of what do you got there? A knife? No! And I was just like fuck, and then realized it was Chucky, and I was like huh. So everybody at the store thought I was scared of the Chucky doll, and I went no, I thought there was genuinely a child with a sharp object, and I thought I was gonna get fired. So like. I'm not afraid of Brad Dourif puppet. I'm afraid of like a child bodily harming themselves or somebody else.
Yeah. Valid.
But yeah, that's a fun thing you could do in certain department stores, but I'm not going to dox myself and say which one. Y'all figure that out, I suppose.
Fair enough.
I fucking love Halloween. It's like unironically my favorite holiday, but god fucking damn it.
Shenanigans abound.
Shenanigans abound.
It's kind of the thing about it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about it that's endearing.
Yeah, there's also like children hiding like rubber snakes in places too, like
Love
in the
it.
floral section.
Love it.
Which I'm not upset about, but
Leave
it's
them.
like
Even if you find them, just leave them, Sarah. You can just say, oh shit, I didn't see him. I'm sorry.
I thought that was a part of the floral arrangement.
Yeah.
It matched the colors. I thought it was intentional for the season.
but they're doing it in the autumn section, not the Halloween section. So they're taking the snakes
There-
from the Halloween section and putting them in the autumn section.
There are snakes that are active in autumn.
I know that. Do
you
you
know
think-
that?
Do you think the mums buying the squirrel-shaped salt and pepper shaker tchotchkes know that?
Yes. No.
I would assume yes.
I would assume
If I
that
were
most
in
of
your
those-
shoes, I would assume yes.
I think that most of those people probably just assume snakes are active like all year round. Most of them. Not all, because some of them probably know things like
I can't perceive what other people would think about the animal habits of other creatures because I grew up with zoo books, so I know what the animals be doing.
Speaking of what the animals be doing, hey, and welcome to Blank Bodies. We are technically animals, and we are also a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and I'm joined by...
John. That's it for this time.
Sarah, and John has an orb.
He won't stop fondling his balls.
I have been pondering this orb for like multiple. I found it in a Goodwill outlet at the bottom of a bin, and I was like, "Oh, an orb!" And then I picked it up, and it did like I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but
like
it
a
has the
cat's
cool
eye?
like, little cat eye slit thing.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's neat!" And so
You're coming home with me.
Yeah, so now I have it. And it's just a glass orb.
Well, it's
fun.
wonderful
Here,
that
feel it.
you're pondering
It's
this
like-
orb because we're
it's a
continuing to
decent-
talk about blood magic.
It's a nice weight. It's smooth. It feels kind of like neat.
You're like contact juggling. This is so riveting for an audio-based medium,
Yeah.
let me tell you.
Whoops. I tried to do that trick where I rolled it
Yeah,
over. to
so
the
we
side of my hand.
are doing Blood Magic 202, which is
202.
we'll be talking about rituals.
Can't believe we made it to episode 202 already.
Damn,
We kind of
son.
had a bit of a jump there, didn't we?
A little bit.
I'm not good at counting, so, I mean, you guys shouldn't have put that on me, first of all.
That's fair. But we did. So
Womp womp.
we're going to be digging into how to create rituals and some basics on how rituals work. Woo. Ooh, rah.
Hooroo.
The content warning will be regular World of Darkness stuff. I will note that there will be talks of occultism as well as mutilation.
That's every episode of this show.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I got to call it out specifically because
Mutilation's fair. Occultism, I feel like, is it's kind of like understood.
It should be understood. I am also respecting the fact that there might be some people who play World of Darkness that don't want to get too into that shit for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh well. I did the warning. You have been warned. Our sources are the V5 core book and blood sigils. That's it. That's all I looked at for this. I'm so
Neat.
proud of it. I kept it to 2 this time.
I'm very proud.
Wow.
But there's also a quote. Who wants to read?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Holding her hand out, the eye still in place on her tongue, her clanmate places a heavy knife on Karna's palm. Without hesitation, she pulled the tip of the victim's tongue out between her teeth and sawed through the muscular organ. She placed the tip in her mouth and proceeded to swallow the 2 components as her fellow Tremere treated the man's bleeding orifices. It was a sad necessity that she would have to take his eye and tongue to read and speak to the ancient language known only to him. V5
Cool.
Core Book, page 272.
Cool.
Right? I was researching and I was like, that is metal as fuck.
Gotta swallow an eye and a tongue at the same time. That's probably not very easy.
Get good at swallowing, I guess.
It's just large pieces of stuff that you've got to like get in there all at once. It's like,
She's got a lot of room in there.
I guess
Is
so.
it the whole tongue?
Portion of it. Like, as much as she was able to, like, pull out and cut off.
Yeah, I assume it can't be just like the tiniest little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah. I just thought that was neat. So, with ritual construction, there is the basics. The base blood sorcery abilities are weaker compared to other disciplines, but this is made up for by the fact that you can learn rituals. Woo!
Yeah.
Which allows you to widely expand your skill set as a character, and you can be very hyper-focused. Or a jackknife character. Rituals allow Tremere to suddenly be like, oh, you can actually do combat now, fuck.
I will say some of the blood sorcery abilities are plenty strong compared to their counterparts.
It depends.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It depends on the situation, but...
Yeah, they're more situational a lot of the time.
Yeah. But, being able to be like, I'm gonna cast Blood of Potence on myself, like, every night, like an asshole.
Yeah.
Just being like, there's a chance I could boost myself up by 2, roll. Damn, only 1. Oh, well.
Redonkulous.
It's very silly. But, with core rules, in V5 on page 272, at character creation, a player can choose 1 level 1 ritual if they have at least 1 dot in blood sorcery. So when you start a character creation, you're supposed to have 1 freebie ritual. Characters can buy new rituals at the cost of the ritual's level times 3 XP, and expect a ritual to take at least the square of its rating in weeks to learn.
Okay.
Which I did a little table.
Oh, that's cute. Level
I
1
should-
is 3 XP in 1 week.
Yeah. And then you get to level 5, and it takes 15 XP and takes you 25 weeks.
So that's half a year.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. But those are some big boy rituals. I can't remember if the Gehenna Wars books has rules now to let you go past 5 dots, because there's rules for creating Methuselah and Elders. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to be honest. Work and college have been a bitch.
That's fair.
I feel like we'll have to do a whole special episode on those types of characters anyway.
Yeah, it's coming in the pipeline, guys. It's a dense book.
That's not what we call a starter game. If they're showing up either as players or NPCs.
No, it is not. So, I'm sharing I've got a little homebrew rule that I've been doing in most of my games that involve blood sorcery, which is you give 1 ritual for each dot in blood sorcery learned. So if you buy the 2nd dot, you can get another blood sorcery ritual. You can either grab 1 at level 1 or grab 1 at level 2, and then proceeding so on and so forth. This hasn't seemed to really break the balance in any game I've done yet, but also run that past people at your table to see if they're cool with that.
Right.
I like that just because it feels kind of worthless to get that 2nd dot and then be like, well, I can't do anything with this.
It's like, well, I spent 10 XP to get to Blood Sorcery 2, and then I have to spend another 3 or 6 XP to get another ritual.
Right.
Yeah, Blood Sorcery is a gigantic fucking XP hole.
Do you roll your dots in blood sorcery ever, like you do with others? Okay,
Yes.
so at least when you buy it, you're increasing your die pool for existing. That's better. So it works more like any other discipline. Or
Yeah.
I dropped the ball. Sorry, guys.
You really dropped the ball this time.
He be dropping the ball.
Or I was gonna
Oh,
say,
no.
kind of like a rete, closer. Whereas like in Mage, for those who haven't played it in old editions, we don't have M5 yet when this episode was made. But in old editions, you would have to buy your rete, and then that would be your dice pool for a lot of rolls, and then you could move your spheres, which are like disciplines, up to match your rete but not above.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that with rituals, where like you can raise your blood sorcery to 3 and then you can get rituals up to 3. But yeah, similar idea at least.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, it's a good, like, keeps you capped, keeps you from being like too banana rama. But with the way the rules are written in the core book, I feel like it just kind of handicaps any character that wants to really explore blood sorcery, because you're having to essentially spend 1.5 times XP to get sorcery and rituals, and I'm just like, that seems like a gigantic kick in the dick.
Yeah.
So, with each level, I just give 1 ritual for free.
I mean, it makes sense if you've been studying the art of blood sorcery enough to like get another dot. There's no chance you haven't learned something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, part of getting the dot is learning more about it.
You'd think.
Yeah.
So, do with that what you will. Back to the way things are in the book. Quote, unless otherwise noted, performing a ritual requires a rouse check, 5 minutes per level to cast, and a winning intelligence plus blood sorcery test with the difficulty equaling the ritual's level plus 1.
All right.
Rituals usually require additional ingredients, though some need only the uninterrupted concentration. Unless otherwise stated, the caster can only perform beneficial rituals on themselves.
All right.
So, kind of a base thing. I also made another table to help with folks to reference
look at that.
for ritual levels and difficulties and cast times and all that kind of shit. I guess I should put these in the in the itch folder.
Yeah, probably.
Now that I've thought about it.
Put them on the itch. Drop them in the Discord, something like that.
Yeah, we'll be dropping links.
Do you remember how like older books, how the timing works for rituals? Because I feel like it's supposed to be similar. Right?
It's pretty similar.
Okay. I just remember there is like, I think it's a level 4 called Inic Sorcery, that it's level 4, but it takes like 45 minutes of blah blah blah.
Yeah, like this is basically like, this is the standard for rituals unless stated otherwise. It's very Magic the Gathering, read the card, play the card.
Right, I gotcha.
But this is the base rules.
This is the rules except for when it's not.
It's not, yeah.
Okay.
As with all Magic, this is the rules until they're not. Whoop.
Yeah.
And something from Blood Sigils that I thought was really, really thematic. It's literally the themes for blood sorcery, and I think it's really helpful in understanding how blood sorcery actually is being thought of by the writing staff for the game system, and hopefully it'll help players and storytellers understand, like, when you're building characters and writing stories that involve blood sorcery, these are the kind of things to kind of keep in mind for how these scenes should be written and talked about and yada yada. So blood sorcery is control over the blood. While it can command or view stranger or even unknown forces, the sources of a ritual's power always comes from within the practitioner's veins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You can't do a blood sorcery without getting some blood out.
yeah, well, it's more specifically, blood sorcery is a magic based on the power of one's own blood and sense, and by extension, their ability to exert their will over their own vitae, which is specifically a different kind of occult thought compared to some other magics that happen in the world of darkness.
Right, right.
So I'm just like, I think that's neat and interesting.
Yeah, it's the most I would almost, I don't want to say introspective, but like it's the most self-reliant, I think, form of magic, where like even some of the mages who are like, oh, my power comes from like the strength of my body and stuff, like there's outside training and stuff that you do, whereas this is literally just, this is my blood, this is who I am and the power of who I am. And like you can train that, but it is still very...
It's interesting conceptually on an existential level that I personally like exploring in stories. I know for some people that can get a little boring and it's like, Sarah, you're getting really heady and up your own ass. And I'm like, I know, but it's fun for me. I'm sorry.
You let us play occultists, and I'm acting like an occultist. Whose fault is this?
Yeah.
Hands you
I
a
know,
500-page book written by a borderline schizophrenic. This is what I based it on.
Mhm.
And if you'd like to catch up, I have all of Aleister Crowley's books.
I was just like, honestly, you're lucky I'm not just jerking off onto everything at this point, but you know, it's fine.
That's true.
I kind of see what you're saying though, Hunter. I like that because the wording on that, because the self-reliance, because yes, you can train it, but really you're just training on how to use it better. Really, I mean, it's still like you said, you have a muscle mage. If he's like a weak little, toothpick of a human, he's not going to be a great muscle mage because he's, believing that his strength gives him the power. But if a vampire is like, yo, I got my blood, I don't really know how to use it very good, but I'm going to use the power in it to do some magic. Same homie with the same blood can then later be like, I'm going to like summon a demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To some degree, mage is also really complicated to bring up because it is very different based on the individual mage's belief system and structure and all that. So I was using that as a loose example, but I think even more so than putting mages to the side because they're kind of the yes but also for everything when it comes to how their powers work. But like changeling, wraiths, werewolves, like their powers all come from like Gaia or from the hedge or some outside force, whereas for vampires it's them.
Right.
Yeah. It's
makes sense why a lot of blood sorcerers are a little bit conceited. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's an exercise in ego as well as you could potentially get very absurdist with it if you wanted, and just kind of like nothing means anything. Where you end up getting really fucked up vampires that are just like, well, I mean, of course I can strip everybody down for components because we're all just meat at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, buddy, no.
Yeah.
And it also ties into very old concepts of just like, well, the soul is clearly centered in the heart and the heart pumps around the blood, so therefore yourself exists in your own blood and you are your blood, but you're also your brain and anyways, I'm gonna get off this train. So the next one,
Choo-choo.
Blood sorcery is horrifying.
Hell yeah.
Even in the subtlest rituals, this should frighten a mortal. They're shortcuts that should not exist, created by acts that are sometimes outright monstrous.
Hell yeah. I like this.
Yeah. Part of the reason I kept the snippet of like Harda just being like, yeah, I'm just gonna hold this guy down and like rip out his eye, and while it's still in my mouth, bite his tongue in a way that's like weirdly erotic, and then cut it off. And then eat both. And he's crying.
Sorry, dude.
You wouldn't teach me the thing I wanted, so And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Girly pop, no. Third one. Blood sorcery is specific. Rituals should have a singular focus. Thin blood alchemy can be weird, versatile, and fluid. A blood sorcery ritual does one thing.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many rituals, because like this ritual does this, and this ritual does this, and this.
It's a lot like other magics, where you have a ritual that does the thing.
Yeah, so it's like if you want to be a jackknife character, you have to learn a lot of rituals. You can go wide instead of tall.
Right.
Kind of a build. So, how do thing? Woo. If you go to the Blood Sigils book, there's a section called Boil Your Own. It's on page 82, and it continues on into 84, if you want to look at that. So, basically, rituals, by the way, are not a way to replicate existing disciplines.
That's fair.
You can't use rituals to cheese shit. If you want the discipline, you gotta go get it.
Right.
Magical effects are a major component of something that works for a ritual, shockingly. So ward, scrying, divination, communications with apillum, spirits, that kind of things, or within the veins of the earth. Lean into the sorcery half of the equation alongside with the blood half is kind of what the book suggests if you're looking at rituals and things. The note I had was look towards Old World of Darkness for thaumaturgical paths and even other TTRPG magic systems for inspo. If you're like, hey, I want to make up a ritual, look at there's tons of source material that you're just like, this seems wizardy. I like this. Let's do this. Macroscopic actions are another thing rituals are kind of good for. So rituals can connect the blood of the sorcerer with the larger blood-soaked universe. Whether it's the parasite to parasite equations of the plague oracle or the potential for altering an urban landscape through the veins of Tiamat. Blood sorcery can go bigger than other disciplines, given enough knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Quite literally. So I put a note of consider looking into scenes from films, literature, and comics for wider environmental effects. If you're just like, I want to make a ritual that does a big thing, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, what are you thinking? Are you like doing a ritual that lets you be an earthbender? Or are you changing the weather? Are you hacking the mainframe by bleeding on it? Like, what are you talking about?
That's kind of neat, actually.
You're gonna bleed on it no matter what,
You're-
but
I mean, ladies, we've all been there.
I'm not going to engage on that.
He's like, I'm not gonna.
I had questions, but I didn't
Yeah,
know if I actually want.
Do you want those answers?
I don't think so.
That's
right
fair.
Now. Not on like recording. You know.
That's fair.
this is kind of related to a previous statement.
Yes.
But I know you said you cannot replicate other disciplines.
Mhm.
I would say, like, yes, you can't directly do that, but there are so many disciplines. I would probably let you do something similar to a discipline, but we're not going to go to the book and open that page and say, this is how it works.
Yeah.
We're going to design something that's appropriate for the amount of dots you have in rituals. Like,
Mhm.
I'm going to go with, like, an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're not going to get the Ravnos illusion powers. You're not going to get those disciplines, but you could probably create a ritual that lets you create an illusory wall or something like that.
So instead of doing like
You would be
Fata
doing-
Morgana, where you're kind of like warping reality to create glamour-like illusions,
Yeah.
I would maybe be like, hey, if you want the ritual to be, I spill a bunch of vitae on the floor, and then the vitae sizzles, and then you kind of get like an illusion, like, you know, with like those water mirages,
Yeah.
like on hot like tarmacs and sand and things.
Yeah.
That could be one way to do it,
Yeah.
yeah. Or like there's a door in a wall and you smear your blood over the door and the door seems to disappear into the wall.
Yeah, that's actually like one of my favorite rituals from Old World of Darkness. It's called Open Passage. So you have, I can't remember at the top of the dome what the ingredients are, but you have the ingredients and you mix that with your blood and you just like cartoonishly draw a wall on the door and you wait like 10 minutes and then it's a door.
Nice. That's cool.
It's one of my favorites. I'm just like, it's like, you can't escape from here, haha. And I'm like, yeah,
Watch me.
give it like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Again, that goes back to our conversation
Yeah.
about the box earlier and
Yeah.
how do you trap a mage or a vampire? I guess the question is which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what vampire, what mage. I have to Junji Ito, this box is made for you specifically.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. There's a Caldonic ritual I really like. I don't remember what level it is. But it's called Mirror Walk,
Mhm.
and I think it's pretty obvious what that is.
You walk through mirror.
Yeah, but you enchant a ring, and when you like tap the ring against the mirror like turns liquidy, and you can take up to one person through.
Is it like Evil Dead, like the liquid mirror?
Kinda.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so you step through, and it's cool because you can pretty much go in one place and come out kind of wherever you decide. It has to be a reflective location big enough for you and whoever you're dragging through to come out of.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to know it exists. So that's pretty neat. But one of the things that I'm like about is that it gets all liquidy, but the moment that the person you're touching comes through, it like solidifies, and if
Mhm.
there's another person in there, it solidifies on both sides, and just whatever chunk of them was coming out just falls off.
Oh,
the
they
side
get
of the
sliced like that horse in the cell.
mirror. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, but also, oh
Right?
no.
I'm
That's
like,
cool.
ooh, spooky.
That reminds me, I gotta start taking Pietro to fucking department stores.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
no.
because there's lots of big mirrors that are big enough for people to walk through, and they're just all over the place.
Perfect. Yes.
So it's just like, Pietro, I have to take you to the Target. It's like, what Targets? Where?
What are we shooting?
I'm like, I'm trying to get us escape routes.
Just any store.
Yeah, just Pietro gets just really excited by the dollar section at the beginning of the Target. It's like, oh, look at these I need all these little jars.
I've been looking for component jars. Good.
It's only $1. How much? What does that translate to drachmas?
Yeah, sure.
It's like, we don't spend gold anymore. What?
He's like, but all right. Puts a pouch back in his robes. Yes, he's wearing his robes in the Target.
God, having to explain like a debit card to him.
Not gonna happen.
No. Just be
Just tell
like,
them it's magic.
yeah, just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Pietro, this is a magic card. It's magic coin. It's square. I know it's square. It's weird. The future is weird, but it's a magic coin. And if you tap it on this other square, it beeps and you've spent money.
That is efficient.
Yes.
I like that. How do I enchant that?
We gotta Google you an accountant, I guess. Yeah, so the third thing to consider with blood sorcery is blood command. Boiling an enemy's blood, sending your blood out like a scouting serpent, leaving a smear of blood behind as a spying eye. Blood sorcery should make every drop of vitae obey in new and twisted ways. Get fucking weird with it, is my note.
Hell yeah.
There's just like, okay, I have blood. What can I make blood do? And I'm like, just get in your most
Whatever you want.
shower thought, stony brain, 5 a.m. I've stayed up too late. What weird idea thing that you text your DM right before you go to bed so they wake up and go, what the fuck? Yeah, those ideas. Do it. I was like, I don't know, man. Just get fucking weird. I hate my brain right now. I'm just like, what are weird things you can do with blood that I'm like, huh?
Things that haven't already been done, because I keep thinking of good ones, like being able to crawl up walls like spiders, but that's already
That's a canon one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a canon one.
What if you were able to pool like your own blood in your own hand and you throw it and it becomes like a Spider-Man web?
That'd be cool.
I was
That'd be
thinking you use it like almost like an acid.
That's
it could
already
burn
one.
People. That is
Oh, well,
one?
it doesn't burn people. It burns things.
Oh,
The
okay.
low level ones burns things. Now, if you want to write one where it's a higher level one where it burns flesh,
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
rude.
Aim for the eyes.
Gouge
Could you
the
have
eyes.
one that does like the old druid stuff of like, as I walk, where I walk, things either flourish or start dying off, plants, things like that?
I think you could probably do that.
That'd be neat.
That
I
would
don't
be
know
neat. That might be a
how-
little bit more of the macro
Right.
element, but yes.
You might have to throw some blood around like a child with the rice at a wedding,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
you could technically do that.
I thought we weren't supposed to throw rice anymore because it's bad for the birds.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do that anymore, but
I think people
thematically it's
throw
worth a
sand
reference.
or something like that now.
Blood-soaked sand.
What do people throw at weddings?
I thought it was birdseed.
It is reach out, friends. Tell
Yeah.
us at blankbodies@gmail.com.
When you get married, what do you want us to throw at you?
We won't throw bricks. Sorry.
What if we got a bunch of little rubber...
Foam bricks?
I was
That'd be
gonna...
fun.
That would be fun. I was just thinking like little rubber frogs.
That'd be good.
That'd be cute.
We could throw frogs at you at your wedding. Maybe. I'm not actually fully committing to that.
I don't know. I did see these molds at my day job that are corn-shaped. I'm like, we could throw like Jell-O corn.
If you pay us enough money, we will perform your wedding.
We could throw
Yeah.
corn.
Yeah, we could throw corn.
For corn.
Yeah, dried corn.
I can't promise it won't be on the
Whole
cob.
cobs.
Oh, God.
All sorts of different ones. Maybe it might be like a
What
lote.
if it's baby corns?
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
That might come around to you not wanting to throw that again, though.
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot of
sugar, it'll
sugar.
melt.
It's
It's
a
just
lot
kind
of
of
sugar for
just kind of
birds to
sticky.
eat.
It's
And
outside.
sticky.
That's how you get ants at the church.
Consider how this ritual will fit within your game. So, things to think about when you're writing and constructing rituals. One is plot. Is this ritual something that the players or the NPCs are going to use? Because you don't want to be like, oh, I have this really cool idea for a ritual. It's super badass and powerful. And then your players get it when you didn't intend them to. And now you're like,
Oh no.
oh no.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky and your player's just like, I shouldn't do this. That happened to me in our last Deadlands game.
Oh yeah.
I got the actual journal of Victor Frankenstein.
Ooh.
And I was already a mad scientist doctor. And I was like, he's like, yeah, you can just do that now. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that, though.
I've read
Like, I
the
don't
book.
think
I
I'm
know what
gonna sew
happens.
people together. That seems a little out of character for me. I'm putting that away as like, thanks for the knowledge. I'm a
Yeah.
scientist, so this is interesting. But no.
I'm never doing it.
Just like,
The experiments have been done. They don't need to be repeated right now.
He tried to make him a wife? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
Why did he do that?
She was also big as fuck. Anyway, so the other thing to consider with plot is how will this be used? Is this to like drive a narrative thing? Or is this something for your players to be murder hobos with? Who knows?
That second one could cause a plot.
Could cause plot.
Most
and
likely it will.
could also end the plot. Depends on
Yeah.
what your game is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, does this ritual solve or create a problem within your narrative?
Maybe
it just
both.
maybe both. Just like, oh well, it's weird. We have this problem. There's too many bees. I don't know.
So we're gonna make a ritual to have the
Explodes bees.
Yeah, have the bees die off. Got it.
I made blood honey. I put it in the beehive, and then they all just explode.
Oh,
you
imagine
can
doing
hear
that to
'em
some.
from 100 yards away. Just pop, 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 pop. It's like popcorn.
Well, that's how you take out the elder with living hive.
There you go.
Oh no!
You
There you
explode
go.
the bees inside of them.
Nice.
Nice. But now you created another problem.
Yeah.
It solved one problem, created another. You know, there's
All these bloody bees
Yeah.
keep exploding all over the city.
I like the
one of the blood bees escaped, and he's unfortunately taught the other bees how to do the blood honey.
He's
and now
taught
it just
them how to
caused-
explode.
It just caused kamikaze bees.
Oh no!
I do like the idea, to bring it back down a little bit though,
Yeah.
as like an overarching plot to a story. Be like, all right, we have to like design or learn this like huge like 5-dot ritual
Mm-hmm.
to stop plot whatever big
that would be
bad
cool.
is. It's just like, all right, you maybe aren't all occultists or wizards or blood mages or whatever, but
You are today.
as a party, like we have to help at least the one person in our group who knows how to do this complete this ritual.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
means you've got to go cut that dude's tongue out. That means you've got to go, like, get, I don't know, the left pinky of a corpse of some sort.
See, this is why we have the Bruja on the party, because he can hold the nerd down so I can cut his tongue out.
Right.
Teamwork,
Yeah.
bro. High five.
Exactly. The tongue is between the fingers as they exit.
Oh my god. So the other thing to consider is character. The creation of rituals can come from experimentation or the reconstruction of long lost works,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was a
Or,
cool thing
both.
that came from the book. Yeah. So you could have characters that are like, I'm super interested in studying like ancient lost forgotten knowledge, or they're like combing through libraries and scrolls and whatever. Or you just got a guy who's like, you know what? I've got the power of God and anime on my side. YOLO. Fuck it. Yeah, I could both awesome characters. I think they could be fun. Well, one of those is slightly less awesome because it's just like, but what if he does have the power of God and anime on his side? Oh no.
I'm playing one of those two types of characters, and they're a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. Fucking another thing to consider with characters is the ritual could be a pet project or a utility thing. When you're making this, I'm like, is this ritual something a character is making because they just need a job done? Or is it like their special project?
Mm-hmm.
Is this what their Tremere dissertation equivalent is?
Right.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you can easily turn like a ritual creation to just like a neat character thing where somebody's just like, hey guys, I worked really hard on this ritual and I succeeded, and now the Bonahead came throwing like a little celebration party. You wanna come to my
Aw, that's cute.
wanna come to my magic party?
That's cute.
Look, I'm trying to find more reasons for people to have parties outside the Ventrue birthday party.
Fair.
And just the Toreador constantly having parties. I'm like,
We
nah,
do
they're
We've got the rants. Those are
Mhm.
those can be more like parties.
oh my god.
the gangrel like their cookout camp bonfire things.
Oh my god.
Before all the wars and stuff,
Yeah.
Zemitzi had like feasts.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, imagine Gangrel that has learned blood sorcery and they're doing these like druidic rituals and they're like, "Hey guys, you want to come out and like and like take part in the thing?" Everybody's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, cool. I'm glad you came to the campsite. Everybody needs to get naked. Here's your little pot of mud.
They're like, wait
Slather
a
it.
second.
Where you need." And then they just kind of go off into the woods and you're just
Right.
like, "What are we doing?"
Hold on, man.
It's like, I hear the sounds of screeching and fucking. I don't know if this is bad or good. Uh
Can we get some clarification, please?
yeah.
Side note, John, but that would also be a terrifying intro to a game.
Mhm.
You're in your city or town or whatnot, just doing your own thing, and you all get invited to a big feast. And an elder Zemitzi showed up. It's like, yes, I always throw my people a feast every however so long.
That'd be.
This is my town, by the way.
And, like, he just woke up and is like, "Ah, yes, it's time for my bicentennial feast."
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "What?"
Well, excuse me? I love that. I love that a lot.
I feel like that would be such a problem in the U.S. because we just have no long-term history memory.
Yeah.
This guy came over, like, in colonial times. He's done one party, took a dirt nap, just genocidal slaughter, and then development hell, and now the mall is dead.
He'd be confused, too.
He'd be confused as
Uh-huh.
fuck.
Oh, yeah.
He missed the mall completely. It came and went while he was asleep.
And third thing I'd like people to consider when they're creating rituals with characters in mind, more specifically, is rituals could be the main focus of a character entirely or something new that they're picking up to survive. Like, I do like the idea of having a blood sorcerer who's like, I only got 2 dots in blood sorcery, but I have a fuckload of rituals.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It's like, I do a lot of little things. Don't worry about it. And just be like, oh my god, dude, you are the biggest problem on the shortest scale.
Don't worry about it.
Or you have a character that's now like, I have to learn what? Why? Huh? They're minding their own business, and then their long dead sire, because of a will, has like bequeathed them a grimoire, and they're just like, you gotta learn it now.
Sure.
This is your fate. This is your inheritance, and you're just like, what?
I like it.
Shit. So, what the ritual accomplishes should inform the ritual process. Rituals have at most 3 ingredients besides blood per the Blood Sigils book. While the caster wills their blood via a rouse check, consider if the caster may want to amplify or temper the resonance of this ritual. You could decide, because with blood sorcery, the resonance with it is sanguine. But if you're building a certain kind of ritual, you might be like, you know what? I might need to incorporate human blood of somebody who's like really depressed because I'm trying to make it rain.
Right.
Or, various other things if you want to include resonances as well. Or, typically for blood sorcery, you would need sanguine blood for the boost. But for this particular ritual, you need phlegmic or,
Right.
Yeah,
Cool. I like that.
kind of a fun thing you can throw in. That's something.
That'd be terrible if you pulled a human and it turns out they're only happy when it rains.
Oh, hit me. I like rain. I'm sorry. I like it when the weather's shit.
But they're sad and you use their blood, which means it won't rain.
Damn. Thunderstorms are cool.
That's what happens when you roll a 1 on that ritual.
It's like, you found the thing. And it's like, it's like not right. No.
Wrong blood.
Yeah. Symbols can range widely depending on the goal of the red work and the moral context and ritual that the caster exists in. So, little quote from the book. Some rituals may need a process that could incur stains. These rituals are either intended to kill or acquire the emotional or physical harm of mortals. That is a potential cost for rituals, is you might just automatically gain a stain because what you're doing is super fucked up in the context of the culture that the ritual exists in. Or it's the ritual in the context it exists in, what it's doing isn't a problem, but it goes against your character's like convictions.
Right.
So you might just incur a stain for doing this.
So you could be like pretty low humanity and be like cutting a guy's tongue out. That's nothing. But because of the context the ritual exists in, you'd take a stain anyway.
Potentially. Or you could justify it as a
part of the magic.
It's part of the magic, or it could be normally this is something your character wouldn't care about, but because now it's set in a ritualized occult setting, you're detached from the situation enough to go, oh, I'm fucked up.
Yeah,
Now am I the bad guy? Just holding a ritual dagger, wearing a cloak, like Professor Farnsworth in the GIF. Am I the baddie?
It's so planned and structured. It does leave more room for introspection of the moment instead of oh, I'm being chased. Shoot 2 guys. Get in the car. We're gone.
Yeah.
It's I have a gun. Everyone's sitting around quietly. I'm about to shoot this man. Very different thoughts going into those 2 situations.
Yeah.
I've had to listen to this guy scream and beg as I've had him strapped to the ritual table, and I'm about to cut out one of his kidneys. Huh.
That is not very kind, is it?
No, it's not.
Nope, you're going to feel bad about this. Are you going to keep doing it, though? You're like, well, he's already here. Might as well.
Right. Look, we're gonna have to kill him no matter what. We've broken the masquerade, so
yeah, and there might be things that incur stains that I would say per cultural taboos you might want to consider if that's something you want to include as a potential stain. Because I don't give a fuck about communion wafers. I'm not a Christian. I'm like, that's just a shitty cracker to me. But for other people, if you use a communion wafer in it, that's
right,
super bad. Meh.
Yeah.
So those are things to consider when you're drawing these little things up. Rituals can require more time than the base set per the V5 core book, depending on the power and the importance and other factors. So depending on if you want to flavor up the ritual to be like, this is super important, so you're going to be chanting for a whole hour.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's another ritual, again, old stuff. Most of my ritual knowledge is called Caldonic Sorcery. So.
That's fine.
But there's a ritual that is freaking wild because it can sever the beast from someone.
Yeah, I remember you showing me that, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you gotta be chanting for so ever long. I can't remember. It's I think it's 35 minutes or something like that. Which is wild.
Yeah, this is why we have reference sheets.
Very slightly mutilate yourself, which is a graphic. You have to shove an iron spike through your hand and
Yeah. Magic sometimes.
But hey, it's neat.
It is pretty cool. Many rituals exist in the framework of some sort of magical tradition. Consider who, what, where, when, how that this ritual comes from, and where it will exist in. So, here's where a vibe check at the table might come along, and you might want to consider doing some outside research based on what the fuck you're doing.
And also worth noting, I know we did a whole episode about it, but if you're taking or playing a game that takes place in a different time or setting than modern USA, some of those taboos may be very different.
Yes.
What publicly flogging someone in a Dark Ages game may be seen as nothing, but
It's like well, they deserved that. They stole bread.
Mm-hmm. But doing that now,
Everyone just be like, what
the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
whereas with your other option, like corrupting a holy symbol back there is like, oh, you're gonna die now. We're all going to kill you. Whereas if you do it now, they're like, oh, they must be in a metal band or something, making a TikTok.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's art, Dad.
Like, there are people who would be mad about that, obviously, but it's not like you're going to in front of a judge
pitchforks,
now.
Or we have these pitchforks and we're about to show them to you very closely multiple times.
And the rules for creating rituals covers all the different various schools of occultism and blood sorcery that we have talked to and about up to this point, including things that involve cultures that have closed practices and or are of religious significance that a lot of pop culture likes to fuck around with in a way where you're just like, oh, that's just ass-hatted and stereotypical and xenophobic, so don't accidentally do a racism, please.
Boop-a-doop-boop.
That's kind of the wording on that. It's like, hey, I'm cool with people like using games to research and showcase their own culture or learn about other people's cultures and highlight things, and woo, that's like half the reason I fucking love World of Darkness. But it's also very easy, as you have seen when we've talked about the old World of Darkness, sometimes when you're like, I'm doing a good thing, and I'm like, oh, you did not do quite enough research there, bud. Ooh, whoopsie poodle.
Womp, womp.
So we have now the internet, and you can avoid doing such things because you're all well-educated and smart people that care about other people's feelings.
Yes.
Huzzah! Also having accurate fucking information, which I know is a lot to say during an occult episode.
You know.
But yeah, there's a lot of, oh god, the wider occult community that just have thoughts on things, and then I'm just like, yeah, but have you actually like read Aleister Crowley? Like actually read it. Like read it.
No, I'd like to keep it that way.
I started to, and I was like, this is...
There is the collection of essays he wrote when he got really drunk at that one bar in New Orleans. It's honestly kind of worth a read.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like almost proto-Hunter S. Thompson, like describing the culture of America in that time period. And like, that's actually really interesting. Other parts of it, you're just like, man, this guy just really does not like women, does he? Fuck. That's not cool. But anyways, mechanics. So, when you're doing a ritual, you do a ritual roll with the dice. Or a dice roller. You might be on the internet. I don't know. If a ritual needs a dice pool other than the standard pool, I just wrote the stand pool. My bad. I made a JoJo's reference. Remember that it's always attribute plus blood sorcery. So if you're doing anything other than the standard ritual roll, which is intelligence, blood sorcery, just make it an attribute, blood sorcery, wham bam, thank you ma'am.
Bam.
Ritual rolls happen only when the magical effect should happen. So if for some reason you're setting up, you're like, okay, we're gonna do the ritual, and then you get interrupted, don't worry about making the roll because it's not gonna go off.
Right.
So, you know, if you're like, okay, we gotta do the thing, and it's like, okay, the ritual's gonna take 15 minutes, and somebody kicks in the door in minute 8, it's like, well,
right,
that sucks.
Or that's a cool scene for your Banu Hakim and your Gangrel to start kicking the shit out of the person that kicked in the door, so you can finish the ritual.
Finish the ritual. Concentration check.
Yeah.
Not really. No, that's Pathfinder on the brain. Additional rolls may also be incurred depending on the kind of ritual you're doing. So, if the ritual needs an action before the ritual roll activates the spell, make a dice pool for that action with a set difficulty. If the ritual is contested, determine if it's a contest or a conflict and make a competing pool. If you are confused about what those dice pools mean, we have a whole episode about conflicts and combat that will explain in great detail how conflict dice pools work.
Nice, we do.
Callback.
Go to that episode, listen to it. It's great.
I don't remember what number it is.
Me neither. Hold on. I'll update you guys when we get there. I'll
Thanks,
just call it out.
Effect length. Most rituals last for a scene.
Okay.
Ritual effects that last longer than a scene are either very powerful or need a physical anchor. Asterisks, there are certain rituals that if you crit on the roll, it will last for the whole night as opposed to just the scene.
Okay, so again, these are how things work unless it says differently.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be rituals that have a different time length too.
Yes.
Okay.
So typically ballpark should be a scene. There might be other factors. So keep that in mind. Other disciplines. If a ritual could interact with another discipline's power, it may lessen the effect of that power, but it will never negate or shut off the power. So if you have a character, an NPC that's abusing dominate, let's say, and somebody's like, aha, I'm going to use magic to get around this. You can't write a ritual that Uno reverses. Well, you could write it a ritual that Uno reverses dominate, but you couldn't have a power that a ritual that absorbs dominate and therefore it doesn't do anything.
Mm.
So you can't just completely negate. So you could make a ritual that lets you see through an illusion, like we talked earlier, but everyone else would still see the illusory thing. You could create a ritual that makes it so that someone who's got, I can't remember the power, Protean, doesn't do extra damage to you, but if they attack someone else that same round, it'll still...
or it'll turn the damage from aggravated to superficial.
Yes. So you can alter how it affects you or an individual thing, basically, but you can't just say, nope.
Yeah, you can't be a mono blue deck.
Okay.
Which is probably good for player fun.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would suck if somebody cheesed the ritual building and they just made a Tremere that's a mono blue deck, where it's what's your whole thing? I turn shit off. And it's what?
Mono blue decks aren't fun to play against. So it makes sense. Yeah.
But
we were talking about the combat episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
Get back there. Listen to it.
Damn, son. But yeah, so that's kind of a fun thing. And this is where you can get creative with the blood and stuff if you wanted. If somebody's like, there's a guy I have to fight, and I know he's a pain in the ass because he has XYZ discipline. How do I use blood or wizardry to fuck around and make this be a problem?
Homie has Protean, has Angry Claws.
Yes.
You take the damage as normal, but your flesh and your blood is goopy, so they get stuck in you.
Whoa.
Oh my god, you become like a fly paper?
Yeah.
Like a glue trap?
Uh-huh. So they hurt you the one time, but
it sucks.
Then they can't pull away to
and
deal more damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
fun.
you're just hi, we're best friends now.
Ha ha ha!
This really fucking sucks.
The glue ritual is fucked up. I like it.
All I can think of is the meme I've seen where there's this weird amorphous oh no, it's this weird amorphous shape, but it's actually I think a flag of Sweden. And somebody's like, why does the flag of Sweden look like Dobby got laid down on a glue trap?
I posted that.
Is that
one.
you?
Yeah, no, it was an actual picture of Dobby who died in a glue trap in yellow on a blue background, and it said, "This is the flag of Sweden if Jesus looked like Dobby and he died in a glue trap."
I saw that meme at the crack of 2 a.m. and was just giggling because I'm just like, fuck, he is stuck in that glue trap. Fuck him. But yeah, so the value of a ritual. The table, ritual.value guidelines on page 84 in Blood Sigils, covers 5 aspects to consider when pricing out a custom ritual, which is power scale, process difficulty, damage or protection output, supernatural blatancy, and narrative rarity.
Interesting.
So there's scales 1 through 5 on each of those, and it gives little references of, hey, depending on how narratively rare the thing is, it should be more or less, and it'll kind of give you a rough guideline of how to price out a ritual based on what you've come up with so far. And I found the table to be pretty useful because I was using it to gauge the rituals that already exist, and everything kind of lined up pretty well. And then I looked at some of the stuff that I've made for myself for Thin Blood Alchemy, but then was like, what if I took these steps, transferred it to a ritual, and then priced it out on the ritual table for dot value? And they ended up being pretty on par with each other between the Thin Blood Alchemy and the ritualized version of what I had made. So I was like, yeah,
that's cool.
This is a cool guide, but it's also a guideline. So if you decide you want to make something for your game, you're like, okay, this thing is kind of mid or whatever, but if you want to make it like narratively rare so that it jumps the price up, because it's a thing that you realize as a storyteller, you're like, if I just let them have this, it's gonna like fuck all the writing
be a problem
that I've been doing for fucking months.
Mm-hmm.
And they just were like, oh, I have an idea. What if I just do this thing and just solve the problem? And you're just like, fucking god, you know what? It's expensive. Fuck you. You could do that. I've also found I think these guidelines are good for helping you to price out occult items and other things. Going back to the occult market last episode. So if you're just like, hey, I'm trying to haggle on like these scrolls and grimoires and like artifacts that I have, I don't know how I should be valuing this out in money or dots or boons. You can kind of use this ritual table as well to figure out like, well, if the artifact does X, Y, and Z, and like how common is it, and how easy is it for you to tell that this is a magic item? How bad is this going to break the masquerade?
Right.
You know, things like that. It's kind of like a good guideline for everyone to go like, okay, at least have a rough market value for what I'm getting into, and I can decide whether or not I'm getting fucked over or not.
Right.
So, super handy table. It's one of the ones where I would definitely be like, print this bitch out and put it in your ST binder. This will be helpful for multiple things. Hurrah! So,
Hurrah!
now that we've gone through that, let's build a ritual.
Let's build a ritual.
I now have that bacon cake song from the kids show stuck in my head, and I hate myself so much.
I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to share.
You
it.
know,
You're
I'm not
stuck in my
sharing it.
head.
I'm going to spare you this pain.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Especially because it has a fucking hip-hop mix that's kind of a banger. Anywho, so, to build this ritual, what would we like the ritual to do? What you guys thinking?
I do kind of like the sticky man that John suggested earlier.
The glue trap?
Yeah.
Glue trap.
The glue trap ritual?
We could make a glue trap ritual.
Hell yeah. I feel like people are going to be just so upset with us, but I'm kind of here for it.
I mean, let's be real. If there was like the magical, like Spec Ops Hitman style Tremere, you're telling me one of them wouldn't use something like this?
No, it's great. I'm just trying to figure out what would they like the ritual to do, and I'm just like, make my body a glue trap?
Make people
essentially like physical, like melee or unarmed attacks. When the blood hits it, it just kind of grabs it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Like, if they force you to spill blood, essentially, they just are like stuck.
Yeah.
So, make blood glue trap for melee and brawl attacks.
Yeah, melee and unarmed. So yeah, I guess that is technically brawl right now, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Cool. Where is this ritual coming from?
So like culturally, where is it coming from? I think it would depend how we want the ritual to be performed. Is this like, are you slathering yourself in blood before battle, or is this something like stealthier?
Huffing a bunch of like herbs
mixed with blood?
Yeah.
Or...
Which is a thing you can do, because there was like the Caliph, the blood weed.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also rituals canonically in the book for having like blood gardens, so you could technically have a whole vitae apothecary.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to technically make vampire pre-workout.
Ew. What if you had to slather yourself in like essentially a goopy substance that
like
you've
a salve?
Like a salve that you
make
made
like a
with
blood
your blood
salve.
and just that's sticky and gross, and you have to put it on yourself and let it like essentially absorb into you.
I'm just thinking about like, have you guys seen like Turkish oil wrestling?
Yeah. What about like pine tar and blood?
Cool. So part of my brain is immediately like, do we want to make this a Bana Hakim ritual?
It could be.
I mean, I dig it.
Could culturally come from them.
Yeah, just being like, well, I mean, there's like a lot of them have been, you know, swords for hire and assassins for centuries. So having something to kind of protect themselves. And
Imagine getting stabbed by a sword and it just sticks in you.
And they just can't pull it out.
Yeah. And now it's a fist fight.
Now it's my sword.
Yeah. I would assume like this is like a lot of rituals where you can be like, I am turning the ritual off now.
Oh, yeah.
So if you wanted, it could be like literally, all right, I'll take that out. And this is my sword now. Thank you very much.
Like the ritual's done, but now you have it.
Yeah.
This is so mean. I love it.
I like this. This is a fun one.
I kind of want to use this one in game.
Who is this for? Like, what kind of characters are we thinking?
Hitmen, assassins.
I could definitely.
I could even see it like being performed. I don't see them performing it, but I could see it being performed on like soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Soldiers, I could imagine just like even like some like Bruja or Gangrel who are just like kind of more like gang style, like getting into fights and stuff.
Yeah.
I could technically maybe see Bada Hakeem, like viziers and sorcerers, having this as like a self-defense thing. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get a hit off on me, but then like I have your sword now.
Yeah.
I have the evidence you attacked me.
Yeah. I like the idea of keeping it primarily within the Banu Hakim.
Yeah.
Like, of course, others can learn it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I agree.
All right. Oh. So what are the ingredients for this ritual?
So I like the idea of it being like not an easy thing to do. So I like the idea of the pine tar, like you said, but maybe not pine tar, but something similar that is a very sticky, like plant-based thing. But it has to be like a vitae grown one.
Yeah.
So, maybe you have to grow this fucking tree for like 20 years, but then you have access to it for all the time,
I'm just writing pine tar bracket from vitae tree.
Hell yeah.
Oh God, imagine there's just a bunch of Bada Hakeem in like New England that just have these like vitae maples.
Yes, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. It's addicting.
I wonder... Yeah. Well, could you ghoul someone with your vitae tree?
I'd have to relook at that ritual. I don't remember.
That'd be wild.
There's a lot of rituals, guys, and I can't keep them all in my head.
Yeah.
That's why we have reference material.
That would also make this a like stacked ritual, because you'd have to like do the ritual to get the vitae tree and then grow the vitae tree. Right?
You could be like cutting a deal with somebody who's got like the vitae tree, like because there's market and trade and whatnot. So
you could be doing that yourself.
Getting some sort of vitae infused tree resin of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think narrowing it down a little less like that, just any tree resin.
Yeah, tree resin.
But it has to be a vitae tree, so you actually have to grow a tree for this.
All right, getting that knocked down. It's almost like I'm taking notes, guys. Don't worry about it.
I also like that there is I fell down a rabbit hole looking this up. There is a sticky stuff controversy happening in baseball right now.
What do you mean sticky stuff?
They're allowed to use things like rosin and a couple other approved substance to help them grip the ball, especially for pitchers. But they're also not allowed to use things such as pine tar. There was a mixture that they're making with like sunscreen and a couple other things that players got caught using to get them super grippy. So there's like a big crackdown happening over the last year or so of like what they're actually allowed to put on their hands and not. So
they also batters use it too, and they are also like super regulated on how far it can go up on their bat grip. It's weird.
Getting grippy with it. So how is this ritual enacted?
I like the idea of you have to use this stuff, maybe even like mix it with your blood. So you have to have the vitae thing and then your blood, mix it the thingy. You get like a salve, cover yourself head to toe in it.
I would say maybe your torso. If we were talking about like viziers or like just important nobles doing this as like a protection, I don't know if I'd see them walking around just covered in sticky.
I didn't get to finish.
Okay.
I was gonna say this is not a P Diddy with 1,000 bottles of baby oil situation.
No, this is you leave it, and as the ritual goes, like it, as all other rituals, the vitae like burns away or whatever.
Okay, it kind of absorbs
soak
into your skin.
yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of yes, I think that I'm kind of also pulling from the craft bloodstone ritual, where that's one where you can prep the item ahead of time and then you just kind of have it set.
Yeah.
You could do the initial like prep of your tree resin vitae.
Yeah.
And you can have the salve in like a tin.
Sure.
Just have it on your person, whatever. And then when you cast the ritual, you basically are like reactivating the salve by like putting your blood into the salve to like
mix it in.
Yeah, so it's like watercolor.
I like it.
Blood color. Vitae colors. Yay. It's only red.
Lots of red.
Lots of red.
Very deep red.
All right, so resin, vitae, prep, and then
cover yourself in it. And then how long should it take? I feel like I like the idea of it not being like a quick thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Definitely something you're going to have like on ahead of time. Well, it's one of those like, because of the bloodstones, the way that works is you cast the ritual ahead of time, and it's one of those like you have to put the stones in a container with the vitae, and they basically like soak overnight, and then you have however many bloodstones you have,
right? And
then those are just kind of active until you make more,
right?
So maybe it's the initial casting time to make the salve takes a
Well, see,
long
what I was
period of
saying is
time.
I like the idea of it taking a while for it to like soak in and burn away. Is what I was
Mm.
saying, because I like at least personally,
Yeah.
we talking about it, but I like the
Yeah.
idea of it being like soak it in there almost as like we are being prepared for battle now,
Mhm.
or I am casting a ward on myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so if you want to do this as the ritual prep time is whatever the casting time would be, but then I would say if it's going to take that long to cast, maybe the salve should last longer than just a scene.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about there. That's why I had mentioned maybe just smearing on the torso if it was only going to last a scene. But if we want to extend
Well,
the time,
I was
period-
assuming it would be like for the night.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was assuming because I mean, yeah, I don't know. I suppose I could see a vizier being like, "I'm going to this meeting specifically that could be dangerous. I will do the thing for the meeting." But I could. People don't generally get assassinated at the meeting. It's before or after.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Maybe we could think of like if there's like a quick activation situation.
mean?
Maybe I don't know. That might be overthinking it for now.
You like a trigger word?
Like there's you're like the way you said where it's like you have to spend the whole ritual time like anointing yourself with the salve, but then there's like basically a quick version of it like Hunter saying where it's like you do like you Simba yourself.
Like the ritual is preparing the salve, and then the casting is just putting the salve on yourself. So you have it prepped, and then is that kind of what you're saying, Sarah? Where it's
Yeah,
like the
I'm
ritual
just-
was making it.
Yeah, I just think at this point now I'm describing two different rituals.
Yeah, I think these could be two different versions. So if we're doing
Yeah.
one, let's go ahead and go with the one,
For John.
John, where it lasts a night, but it's got a longer cast time.
Yeah, I think that'll make more sense. We'll kind of workshop this, and then if later on folks want us to do a quicker version of it,
I
where
like
it's like,
the idea of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, being like, I put it down my face, and then one shot.
I can
will
only
get-
take one.
I can only take one, but it took me 4 seconds to do,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also if
or
you're,
however many minutes.
if you're using these for your games, you could obviously have one be like a 1-dot ritual where it's like, okay, I get stabbed once, and the knife is stuck, and now I have a knife. Whereas like maybe a 3 or 4 dot where like this is gonna last all night.
It's gonna take you a hot minute to put it on.
Right.
You're gonna have to do an American Psycho amount of prep,
You're gonna have to have a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
but then you're just like,
But then if you end up looking like a pin cushion by the end of the night because everybody's just sticking their weapons into you.
yeah, I hope you got fortitude, my guy.
Yeah.
Really hope you got fortitude, because you're taking that hit, but you're only getting hit the one with the
ones.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I just love the idea of it being like Iceman kind of hitman person. Like,
Mhm.
you've hit me and now you're stuck to me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Because guess what I'm good at? Knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we start talking about knives and stuff again, but also someone punches you, their fist gets stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
So-
feral weapons you. Or...
I'm gonna bite you, conk. Now you're stuck, asshole.
That actually might be bad for you if they could start feeding and they're stuck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can just.
Well, then it's your blood.
Yeah.
And
well, then you can also
it's
like force it.
sticky.
Depending. Well, if you're about a Hakim and you've gotten the blood sorcery for scorpionated blood,
Oh, yeah.
They're
That's
stuck on
real
you.
bad for them.
and then your blood's
It's
burning
blood-
them,
Yeah.
and it's just like, I mean, that was your choice,
Haha,
man. You
sucker.
literally didn't have to do this. I'll wait.
I love this.
Oh, this is so dumb. Okay.
This is so good.
I'm just gonna write long and short versions. Yeah, because I think because there are rituals that have variable like time things where it's like it's either a scene or the whole night, and it's
Mhm.
just like, but that's usually based on like getting a crit on the roll or not.
Mm.
You could design these as two separate, and who knows, if you do it really well and you crit, maybe the easy version does last the night, but
Yeah.
the harder version guarantees
Is
the night,
guaranteed.
and if you crit, it lasts till you do get stabbed.
Over like multiple nights, even.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of
Honestly, I kind of love that.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
kinda
yeah.
cool.
So I wrote, how does this ritual exist in the world? But we've kind of already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
So whoops. So what is the value of this ritual, do we think?
Self-defense.
Yeah. Well, no, like the dot value, which means I'm gonna open a book, guys.
I'm gonna say, like, how many dots in blood sorcery? Like the
Yeah. What's the ritual dot value of this?
I would say the quick, short, one scene version, 1 or 2, and the long, all night version, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 with the ability to last for
Yeah, I'm trying to not like have it be that variable.
No, I'm
Yeah.
suggesting though. I think the one should be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And the other should be higher. So
Okay.
3 or 4.
So we're
maybe
accidentally
even 5.
writing 2 rituals tonight.
Yes.
Whoops.
Oh well,
That's fine.
we're already here.
I'm
And they're
trying
pretty much the same ritual. It's just a
just
time difference.
One is the cheapy version.
Yeah.
One's the gas station version, and then one is like the brand name.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that just makes sense too for an occult character. If this is something you're learning and
Or
your
it's like,
blood's
ah.
getting stronger, you should be able to do the same thing but more effective.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So using we're gonna use the guidelines real quick.
Hell
So,
yeah.
For scale of power, let's just price out the longer, heavier version first, and then we can like scale it down
Yeah,
easier.
okay.
That sounds good.
So for the longer version, scale of power, 1 dot affects single target, slight enhancement to the caster. 2 dots affects 2 or 3 targets or sensory environment of the caster, noticeable enhancement to caster. 3 dots affects up to 5 targets or half a city block, major enhancement to the caster. 4 dots affects up to 10 targets or a whole city block. Dramatic enhancement to the caster. 5 dots affects an entire large domain. Immense enhancement to the caster.
3.
Yeah, I was
I would
thinking
say
2 or
3.
3
Yeah. So
3 because I mean,
for the.
how many
affects up to
targets?
5 targets or half a city block. Major enhancement to
Yeah,
the caster.
I think the major part is
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Also, I think that like 5 quote unquote targets would generally that means people,
Mhm.
but 5 weapons. If you're getting hit by 5 separate weapons over a night,
You fucked up.
there's something going on that's a problem.
Something fucked
You
up.
should have really thought about things a little bit better.
And we also did design it so you still take the damage for getting stabbed
Yeah,
5 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not preventing any damage, it's
No.
preventing follow-up damage.
Yeah, that's valid. So, process difficulty 1 dot only requires time. 2 dots slightly complex undertaking. 3 dots difficult undertaking. 4 dots very difficult undertaking or time sensitive. 5 dots immense undertaking or extremely time sensitive.
I'd say like 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1 or 2, because 1 was just only requires time, right?
Yeah,
Well-
well, you're still having to make the salves. I'd say 2 or
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
So damage dealt / protection granted. 1 dot. Bonuses or penalties to attacks or dice rolls. 2 dots. Set amounts of superficial damage per win. 3 dots. 1 superficial damage per point of margin. 4 dots. 1 aggravated damage per point of margin. Multiple points superficial damage per point of margin. 5 dots. Multiple points of aggravated damage per point of margin.
Doesn't really
Doesn't
cause damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't cause or it's protecting from further damage is the thing. So it's like
Right.
you're taking the first hit.
So it's not preventing it.
No. But then hits after that are stopped.
But we kind of designed it so it could be aggravated damage, or it could be minor punching damage. So maybe
3 or 4, I guess. But you're still
Yeah.
taking the damage on the first one, so I think it's back to 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 or
I was
3.
sticking at 2 at 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll call it
3
3.
sounds good.
Yeah. Supernatural blatancy. 1 dot. Little to no chance of masquerade breach.
That guy's got a sword in him. What the fuck?
I mean, I've seen things on YouTube.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
2 dots. Possible chance of masquerade breach. 3 dots. Likely masquerade breach.
I'm gonna say
4
3.
certain masquerade breach. 5 undeniable masquerade breach. I kind of want a band.
I'm saying 2 or 3.
Undeniable masquerade.
I
breach.
want there to be a metal band done by Kindred called Undeniable Masquerade Breach.
I'm thinking 2 or 3 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
I like.
it could be blatant, but it could also just be like someone got stabbed and the knife stayed in them, which is
Yeah.
like pretty common.
Yeah, which is fine, but I feel like if you're like, somebody's like, I'm doing a swipey gangrel claw, and it's like in them, and they're just like, you know, when I said I wanted to get fisted, this is not what I had in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where the Masquerade Breachy stuff gets weird.
I would say 3. I think
Or-
that's pretty safe.
My other favorite is, I'm gonna hit you with this baton. Thwack. Oh no. Oh,
Why is my baton stuck?
what? Why? Fuck.
Okay, so I think we're at 11.
Well, no, it's not a total thing. It's just kind of like a rough gauge.
I was just adding them all together.
Oh, yeah. And then the last one, narrative rarity. 1 dot, common, shows up a lot in the Chronicle. 2 dots, fairly common. Any connected character could probably find it with a test. 3 dots, fairly uncommon. Finding it takes some effort. Bracket, a scene. 4 dots, Rare. Finding it takes real effort. Bracket. A whole session. 5 dots. Very rare. Finding it requires lengthy dedication. Bracket. A whole story.
4 or 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So in every aspect of this ritual, we've done 3, maybe a 2, and then 1 4.
Yeah, so 15 altogether. But
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say it's.
I know you're not adding them
Yeah.
together, but it is a nice shorthand.
It's a nice shorthand
across all of those.
Yeah, so I think in the quote unquote standard version of this should be like a 3-dot ritual.
I think that's fair.
And I was gonna say pretty on par with like a lot of the 3-dot rituals that I've read into. So huzzah, we did it.
Hell yeah.
Do we have a name for this yet?
Nothing that's actually serious.
Yeah, that's for because
Gravity blood.
Because I think calling it Dobby's glue trap is gonna break an IP.
I can't think of a good full title, but I was thinking either porcupine or pincushion would be a good start.
Yeah, and a part of me is also like, if we're making this about a Hakeem thing,
ooh,
I'm just like, oh, sorry, you went ooh, you got very excited.
It's very over the top, but I think it fits for being an old. What about Sheath of Flesh?
Ooh, all right, we're calling it Sheath of Flesh. It's gonna
good.
confuse the shit out of everyone. Because gonna be like, oh, is this a Zamitsu thing? And we're like, no.
Actually.
The Zamitsu, if they had that ritual, they would have like a literal sheath made of flesh that they keep their sword in. Maybe they pull it out of their leg. Like, I've got a hidden blade, but this is no, you're sheathing your sword in me and I'm keeping it.
Yeah, no, we got a saucy Zamitsu that's doing that scene from Emperor's New Groove where Izuma's like lifting the hike of her dress. And then there's like, you're like, oh, there's gonna be a garter with a knife. And it's like, no, there's just a cavern in her thigh where the dagger lives. The dagger lives? Yes. Instead, this is just, that's mine now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get soft tacos later.
I love it.
This is so much fun. All right, well, good news, everyone. We're gonna get a write-up of at least the overnight version of the Sheath of Flesh salve ritual, and we'll have it in our freebies folder in the itch drive.
Love it.
Boop, boop,
Love
boop.
it. I love the idea of someone like not having any idea of how to make the resin, but finding like an old book and a thing of resin, and you're like, well, I don't know how to make more, but I got this one.
Just like, well, I used to use Tiger Balm when I was alive. I guess this is kind of the same thing.
Right.
And they just happen to get in a fight, and they're just like, oh
wow.
I need more of this. And there's just some behind Hakeem in the corner going, haha, yes, you do.
I can help with that.
I can help with that.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's a fun one. I like
So
this.
that's the basics for rituals and also making your own. Have fun. Children go nuts with creating horrifying concoctions of behaviors and occultic practices that defy the laws of God and man.
Yay!
For fun and profit.
Yay!
Yay! So any final thoughts, friendos?
I will say, as I've been making and updating a character sheet for Mage, it is surprising to me how similar this is to kind of designing a rote.
Yeah.
Even like when I mentioned earlier, like the Arite and blood magic dots and things like that. So I don't know. I know we keep pondering what might come next for the World of Darkness 5th edition.
Pondering the orb of
the future.
It
does make me think that this might be laying some groundwork for things we might see in the future. And it is cool just to be able to design your own rituals, keeping it in the vampire world. This is how you add all those rituals that were in old editions that they didn't reprint. Use these rules to slightly bump them to this edition, and you're good.
And also, you can use the ritual rules to just like make up artifacts and all sorts of weird shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, instead of you doing a ritualistic process, you're just like, well, I have this knife.
It actually sounds incredibly helpful for H5 Hunter because there are rules for artifacts and stuff in the core book. There aren't a lot of artifacts. So if you want more, or you're playing H5 and your character wants something special, or you want to give your players something special, these would be a good way to create those artifacts, actually. Because that was one of my biggest complaints, is that they're like, there's this whole ability, like, you can be a guy who's got artifacts, here's 3.
Yeah. Now you can use the ritual table to price out fucking just weird, spooky Hellboy, Van Helsing, just
Good
monster
shit.
hunting, just weird shit. Let's go.
Yeah, let your hunters get sheath of flesh.
Oh no.
Gross.
God. That would be horrifying.
They'll have to go to the hospital after. But
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna fucking suck.
Uh-huh.
I was just imagining just fucking.
They won't bleed out because the blade will stay right where it's
As long
at.
as you leave the blade there, yeah. Just imagine some yoked up guy like some Father Alexander Anderson guy with
Mhm.
this, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna fight him.
He's a fucking human. I'll stab
whatever.
him like 6 times.
I have protean claws.
Yes.
I have potence. This will do extra damage. And then you go whack, and then he winces because obviously that hurts. He took damage, and then he just smiles, and you're stuck.
Ah! And then he pulls out his knife and just like, please no, I regret my decisions. I use my protean claws to cut off my own arm. Run.
I would say that's a possibility. I also could imagine
Just go full fox with it.
Mhm.
it is just stuck in your flesh.
Yeah.
There could be a strength test, like if it's someone's hand or claws or something, for them to rip it out, which could cause more damage.
Mm.
Yeah.
But it would be a strength challenge to,
Yeah, because
and
yeah,
it's magic, so you could
think-
make it tough.
I think you could potentially write that as a contest between like strength and brawl or strength and melee
Mhm.
versus intelligence and blood sorcery.
Yeah.
Because there's some precedent for that with theft of vitae.
Mm.
Because that is blood sorcery based off of int and blood sorcery. Not that I've used theft of vitae to be a fucking cunt or anything.
No way. You'd
Never.
never do something like
And
that.
it's like, oh, negotiations. What if I just keep making him hungry or like under the table and nobody has any fucking idea? And it's like, what's your dice pool for rolling that? 9.
Let's go.
Let's go. So yeah, that's could be a way for the little scrungly nerd to like maybe kind of stand against chance against like the beefcake.
Mm-hmm.
Steal their blood.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like that.
It's super fun. This could get very
This is-
silly.
I have not played a magic character
Mm-hmm.
in Vampire yet. I might have to fix that. That's what this is making me think.
It's super fun. As somebody who's played a lot of Tremiers and Banu Hakim, it's super fun. I may have to see if I can squirrel up some more stuff to do like ministry things for blood sorcery because I feel like that could be super fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hell yeah. This was a good time. I
This
enjoyed
was very
blood
fun.
magic. I fucking love blood magic shit. I'm just like,
Same.
yeah,
So cool.
being a spooky dork. Speaking of spooky dorks, music.
Yeah, thank you, Paralyze, for our theme song. They exist on Bandcamp, and I think they're off most streaming services now, but they are on Bandcamp now and forever.
Hell yeah. Go
Go
give
over
them
there.
money
Check 'em out.
and listens.
Mm-hmm.
They are good peeps. Fuck yeah. We like to think we're good peeps, and you can let us know on social media at Instagram at blankbodiespod or on TikTok at blankbodiespodcast. I'm getting back into the circle of trying to do more replies to people. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, feelings, let me know. And I might actually talk to you directly through a video reply.
Boop-a-doo-boop, boop-boop-a-doop, boop.
And if you want to talk to us, we also have a Discord. You can join it. It's free. We have a whole community of listeners just
Mhm.
like you. Hang out, playing all kinds of games, talking about Vampire, talk about other tabletop games, talk about whatever's on their mind or how their day's going. It's a lot of fun. There's all kinds of stuff going on. People streaming movies, just hanging out.
People just doing fit checks, which is kind of fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, the swag in the Blank Bodies community is pretty top notch.
This is
Yeah.
true.
And if you really like what we're doing and want to throw us a couple bucks, we got a Patreon. It'll get you some Discord titles. The Discord is free, but you get some bonus there. There's a patron chat. I think right now they're just having
It's just been a Star Trek
It's
marathon.
been a weeks-long discussion on Star Trek.
At least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I was joking about that at work where I was like, okay, I'm going to check the Discord to like do my little moderation job while I had a break. And I was like, I love our patrons. They're delightful people. They've enabled us to do this show, which I'm grateful for, and some shenanigans and further shenanigans that'll be coming up soon. But it's just these hot goth nerds have been talking about Star Trek for 3 fucking weeks.
Ooh,
And they are not
somebody's-
going to stop.
Somebody's frying some onions. Or not onions, mushrooms. Looks very good, actually.
Oh, yeah. We also share like food and like stuff in the regular chats.
Yeah, there's
People
all
getting
kinds
in
of
shape.
going on.
Yeah.
But We have all kinds of other bonuses on the Patreon too. There are show notes. There are
Bonus episodes that we
bonus
do once a
episodes.
month.
You're getting 2 this month because we skipped August because of Gen Con, so we're doing 2. The poll ended, so this week we're talking about soundtracking your World of Darkness games, and then we're going to talk about vampires in other tabletop games. So if either of those are exciting, join us over on the Patreon. You also get to vote if you're a patron. We have a voting tier, and you can vote on what clan deep dives we have coming up. You also get to vote on what that monthly bonus episode we do is. So
Help
that's
us
fun.
control our hyperfixations, please, a little bit.
Yeah, and not only that, there's character sketches and blood and all kinds of stuff. So check us out on Patreon, check us out on Discord for free. And if you want to be on the show, we do interviews and stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
So just email us at blankbodies@gmail.com.
Last thing on the Patreon, we are trying to get to a $500 a month goal.
It's true.
Once we hit that, we will do 4 episodes a month regularly as opposed to the 3. And I will do the horrors of dairy products in World of Darkness as a reward.
Suck that milk.
It touches on multiple splats.
It will touch on multiple splats, unfortunately.
And there is historical precedent for milk to be scary. So
Sometimes
blood
it
in it.
squirms.
It's almost blood.
there is blood in milk. A little bit.
Sometimes it squirms. It lives.
That's Zamitzi.
But also the dairy.
Is dairy close enough to flesh that you could flesh craft it?
I don't want to think about the milkmancer Zamitzi.
So my question is,
So upsetting.
I'm gonna say mostly no, but I guess the question lies: can a Zamitzi warp dead flesh, or does it have to?
No,
thought it
here's
had
the
to be
question.
living.
The question
I'm pretty sure it can be dead because vampires are dead.
that
They're
would
like
be
half.
that would be like Hakata. So the milkmancer might just be a Giovanni.
Yeah,
Ugh, that makes it grosser.
yeah, that's cool. The milk mobster.
The milk
Oh,
monster.
no.
No, we need to end this show. I just thought of that fucker from The Godfather with just like a glass of warm room temperature milk stroking a cat. The entire room smells like dairy. I hate it.
We're leaving.
Well, they like the cheese Parmigiano.
His power stopped working once it's been pasteurized.
Oh no, I can't deal with him be doing the raw milk thing. We gotta end the show. John, get us out of here.
Goodbye, everyone. We love you very much. Goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.